What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how much I made my first year selling on Etsy. I made a video a few weeks ago talking about my Etsy shop and kind of going through all the products I have in there. I sell personal finance products, so spreadsheets and printable trackers. A lot of you guys in that video put in the comments that you'd be interested to see how much I made my first year on Etsy. I actually started selling on Etsy in January of 2021, so it's really easy for me to track how much I've made because it's on the calendar year. So yeah, I looked at my Etsy stats and it was interesting for me to take a look. I'm gonna go through them with you guys right now and show you month by month how much I made, and we'll total it up and see how much I made for the year, as well as tell you all of my expenses for selling on Etsy, which, spoiler alert, they're pretty low. So because I don't have any physical products, I just sell digital products, I don't have any shipping fees, and I don't have any inventory. So as of today, I have 15 items for sale in my shop, and they are, well, 3 of them are, I guess 4 of them are spreadsheets, 3 are individual spreadsheets, and then 1 is a bundle of all the spreadsheets I sell, and then the rest are printables. And my spreadsheets are by far my best sellers. The printables, I get some sales here or there, but I sell way more spreadsheets than I do printables. And so when I first opened my Etsy shop, I didn't have all 15 products right away. It took time to get them on there and to get the listing ready and everything, and also I was kind of perfecting and tweaking some of them. So for Etsy, for me, for like digital products, the first product you get up on Etsy is the most work because you're just figuring out all of the tech. And then once you have one up, it gets easier to add more because you've already done like all that legwork to figure out how to do the listing, how to create the product, how to get the download right for the digital product and all that. Okay, so my first month on Etsy, I think I had 3 or 4 products. I had my debt payoff tracking spreadsheet and a few printables, and I had 433 visits to my shop, 23 orders, and revenue of $131. So right out the gate, I was already making around $100 a month, which I was really excited about. This was a spreadsheet that I had been using personally for like an entire year at that point, and I thought to myself, well, if I'm really enjoying this and it's really helpful in our debt payoff, why not put it on Etsy and see if other people would enjoy it as well. So I actually launched my Etsy shop, as you can see, like late January. So I had a good first few days. I had a lot of sales in the first few days, and then it like slowly dropped off. Obviously, when I launched my shop, I did a bunch of like marketing around it. I mean, not a bunch, but I posted it on my YouTube. I talked about it on my Instagram and just started talking about it in videos. So I have built-in marketing for my Etsy shop in my videos because I show you guys how I use these products for my own personal finances, and then I just let you guys know they're available if you guys want to check them out. Speaking of which, if you want to check out any of the products on my Etsy shop, I will have my Etsy shop linked below. So as you can see below the graph, Etsy brought 21% of the visits and I brought 79% of the visits that first month. Yeah, I brought most of the visits the first month, which makes sense because when you're new on Etsy, Etsy doesn't know to push to your shop because they don't know like who's buying your stuff and which products are popular and stuff like that. So it takes a while for Etsy to start pushing to your shop. So you got to get traffic there yourself. Moving on to February, I had a similar number of visits to January. I had 439 visits, 25 orders, and $136 in revenue. So January and February looked pretty similar. Etsy brought 30% of the visits and I brought 70%. So I brought a little bit less percentage of the visits, or you could look at it as Etsy started pushing my shop a little bit more. And I was very happy when February happened because I about matched, I made like $5 more, but I matched basically what I had made in January. And I thought maybe when I opened my shop, I would get a bunch of sales from people who were interested and waiting to buy my products, and then it would kind of like taper off. And there are months where it did taper off, but overall, I was just very happy to see that it was starting to be like kind of a trend of around $130 that I was making a month. All right, March was a lighter month. I made $88 in revenue. I had 295 visits to my shop, so a lot less visits, and only 16 orders. Etsy did bring 35% of the visits to my shop and I brought the rest. So looks like each month, I'm kind of like analyzing this in real time. This is actually helpful for me. Each month Etsy is pushing my shop a little bit more as I get more sales. And then in April, I had 349 visits and made $140. So kind of back to more of the range of months 1 and 2. And Etsy brought 37% of the visits and I brought the rest. So again, just a little bit more sure that Etsy is bringing traffic to my shop over time. My conversion rate, just looking back, is pretty consistent. It's around 5 to 6%. And conversion rate, I'm assuming, is just number of orders divided by number of visits, like how many people actually order when they come and visit your shop. All right, May was a pretty good month. I did break $100 and I made $104. I had 343 visits and 18 orders. So again, 5% conversion rate. And now Etsy brought 44% of the visits. So Etsy was just consistently pushing my shop more and more. And then in June, I made $164. And June, you can see on the graph, there's like a big spike at the end of June. I believe that June was the first time I ran a sale. And I was thinking to myself, like, my products are really reasonably priced, and I just didn't know if I wanted to take like a discount off of that because I didn't know if it would make me more money to run a sale, but a sale actually did make me more money that month. I had a huge spike in sales once I did a discount. So I did a 20% discount off my entire shop for I think 2 to 3 days, like a long weekend, and I got a bunch of sales from that. So I had 427 visits, 21 orders, and revenue of $164. So that was my best month on Etsy in the first 6 months that I had. Month 6 was the best. All right, so then we hit July. I don't know exactly what happened in July. I think the end of my sale went into July, and then I don't know, but I had 1,340 visits to my shop in July. Maybe one of my videos went a little more viral. Maybe I talked about certain products more. I, over time, added more products, so that might have been a month where I added my annual financial goal tracking spreadsheet. I'd have to go back and look. I just didn't take the time to figure that out, but I think I may have added a product that month because my sales like more than doubled that month, and I had 58 orders. So I think a lot more people were going to my shop, and maybe I had added a product. Etsy only brought 24% of the visits that month. That makes me think I did add a new product that month, because with a new product, maybe they weren't pushing it yet, and so that's why the amount of visits from Etsy dropped. And then in August, I had 856 visits, 49 orders, and made $288. So looks like it jumped back up. Etsy brought 43% of the visits to my shop, and August was just kind of like a consistent month. You can see on the graph, it just kind of like goes up and down, but overall is hovering around the same number of visits each day. Okay, so moving on to September. September was good, not quite as good as August, but I made $221, 629 visits, 37 orders, so I had a little bit higher conversion rate. Again, Etsy brought 43% of the visits, and I brought 57. October, I made $396. That was 823 visits and 51 orders. I believe I ran a sale end of September into October, because if you look at the end of September, you can see a spike, and the beginning of October, you can see a spike, and I think I also added my budget spreadsheet around then too as another product. So that was a good month, almost hit 400. Etsy brought about half the visits to my site. And then November, my sales dropped a little bit. I was at $246 and 551 visits and 34 orders. And Etsy brought 48% of the visits to my site, so about half. And then December, something crazy happened. I almost hit $1,000 in revenue. I hit $958. I think 4 things happened in December that made that happen. And I don't know which was the biggest factor, but 4 different things happened that I think I can attribute to this increase in sales. 1, I did run a sale. 2, I think it's a good time of year for this type of product, that people are looking for this at this time of year. 3, I did a modified Vlogmas, so I posted like 21 videos in December. I usually post closer to like 13 videos a month, but I posted 21 videos because I was posting Monday through Friday from December 1st until Christmas. And so I was talking about my Etsy products more because I was posting more videos. And then 4, I hit star seller status in December for the first time. So star seller status is when Etsy looks back for the past 3 months of performance in your shop, and if you have on-time shipping, which doesn't apply to me, you respond to 95% of the messages that you get within 24 hours, I think, and you also get 95% 5-star reviews, then they mark you as a star seller. And so they push your shop more than if you don't hit those metrics. So December was the first month that I hit that status, and I think they definitely pushed my shop more. Let's see, it was 50% of the visits were from Etsy. I think just having that star seller mark next to your shop helps, because my conversion rate was 7.8% and it's never been in the 7s. Let me just look back. Yeah, and I think part of that is having that star seller label on your shop. People trust it more because, you know, anyone can sell on Etsy, but you want to make sure that you're like getting something of value when there's reviews and stuff. But seeing that star seller like label, I think gives people confidence in your shop a little bit more. So because of all those factors, I had a great month in December. I was like shocked every time my phone just kept beeping that I got another sale. I was just getting so excited and more excited, and just like kind of seeing the potential of Etsy happen before my eyes. Because again, I just kind of started this to be like, okay, maybe I'll make $100, $200 a month, and then I made that like almost $1,000 in 1 month. But as you can see, it took all year to get there. It didn't happen month one. It wasn't like right out the gate month one I was making $1,000. And that does happen for people. You know, you can just hit the right product with the right marketing and Etsy picks it up and it takes off, or you've got a social media following that catches it and it just, you know, it takes off. I've definitely seen that happen multiple times to people. So, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily start off slower like I did. Also, it could start off much slower than mine, because I have built-in marketing talking about my products on my YouTube channel all the time, and at this point I have 14,000 subscribers and I get several thousand views per video. So, you know, if you have a smaller channel or a smaller like social media following or something, you're not going to have as much exposure to a wide audience to be able to market your products. So, you know, it could go slower or faster than this. This is just like my experience, and I thought it'd be interesting to share. I just want to show you the wrap up for the year. So total for the year, I had 8,016 visits, 474 orders, a conversion rate of 5.9, and total revenue of $3,213. $3,000 in 1 year on Etsy is definitely more than I thought I would make in my first year. But it's also not where I just want to keep my shop. I hope to continue to grow it to be much larger than that. As you can see, like the first 6 months of my shop were lower, and then I had a couple spikes in summer and then at the end of the year on that graph there. And yeah, you just kind of have to go for it and see how it goes and take it from there. Because until you get started, you just don't really know what's possible to happen and how people are going to respond to your products. And you know, you may get some negative feedback, you may get positive feedback, and that'll help you gauge how you're doing and what people are looking for. All right, let's talk expenses. So I had gross revenue of $3,213 on Etsy, but I didn't receive all of that because Etsy takes a 5% commission from all of your sales before they pay it out. So take 5% off of that, and that's what I actually received from Etsy. And actually there's a 20-cent listing fee per listing. So I have 15 listings at 20 cents a piece. So what is that, like $3, I guess, is how much Etsy charged me for actually putting up the listings. So if you have a shop that has a lot of products, you might have to take that cost into account. But for me, when I only have 15 products and I don't expect to have a whole lot more at any point, I'm kind of probably gonna land between like 20 and 25 products eventually, if that. But yeah, so the listing fee is kind of like a non-issue for me, but the 5% fee, like transaction fee that Etsy charges, that's, you know, something that is the cost of doing business with Etsy. But the benefit of Etsy is, like you saw, overall they brought like 1/3 to 50% of the visits to my shop through SEO and their marketing side of things. So, you know, did those visits convert in the same rate that my visits did? I don't know that they have a breakdown of those stats that I can really see, but still it's traffic to your shop that wouldn't happen otherwise if you just had like a website where you were selling products. So that's why I chose to go with Etsy, is because they do have that built-in marketing. Plus tech-wise, there's a much bigger hurdle to figure out all the logistics of setting up your own website and setting up your own shop on your website, versus Etsy, it's a kind of like ready-made, built-in, ready to go. And I wanted something where I could just get going quick. And so to me, that 5% commission was worth the cost of the time of learning how to do everything else myself and the cost of setting up a website and everything like that. In the future, I may set up both. I might have a website where I sell my own products and have products on Etsy, but for now, this gets the job done. Okay, so how much did all this cost me in terms of expenses? Like I mentioned at the beginning, my expenses are very low. I actually only have one expense for my Etsy shop because my spreadsheets are through Google Sheets, and that is a free spreadsheet that you can use if you have a Gmail account. So it didn't cost me anything to actually build the spreadsheets, which is the main product that I sell. And then for all of the printables and also for the little PDFs that are actually linked that help you get to the spreadsheet when you buy a spreadsheet, I used Canva. Canva is a website where you can create different like posts or flyers or like Instagram stories or anything you want. I mean, it's very, very broad, has a very broad use. It's awesome for like digital marketing and stuff like that. And I use that to make all my printables and my PDFs, like I said. And there is a free version that you can use it and you don't have to pay anything, but it has limited accessibility to the features. So I have the paid version. The paid version is $12.95 a month, so $12.95 a month. It's not a huge cost. So I did pay for that each month of the year. I also use it for YouTube, so I really wouldn't say like the whole cost is attributable to my Etsy shop, but just saying it is $12.95 a month is about $155 for the year. So on my Etsy shop, I made $3,200 minus 5% transaction fees from Etsy, minus $155 for Canva, and the rest of it was just straight profits. So that means my expenses were about 10% of my profits. So on gross revenue of $3,200, I spent about $320 to make that. As profit margins go for business, I think that's pretty good. And the amount of time it took me to sell those products is pretty low too. I didn't keep track of my hours, but basically I got my debt payoff spreadsheet up in January, and it sold all year long, and I didn't have to spend one single minute shipping anything or really doing much of anything. I get an occasional email about the spreadsheet, and it's mostly people who have bought it and just can't figure out how to find the link to download it to start using it. Also, when I set up the listing, I did a video tutorial explaining how to use the spreadsheet, so that did take some time to do that, but that has paid off like tenfold because, like I said, I barely get any questions. It's very low maintenance cost, so I think you have to take that into account too, of the time you're actually putting in, the hours you're putting in to maintain your Etsy shop as part of the value of it. So that's what I've really loved about selling on Etsy, is it's very passive. You know, once you get the listing set up and you test it, I would buy my own listing and make sure that it all downloads correctly. But once it's all set up and good to go, you just sell it and see how it does. So I made $3,200 on Etsy in 2021. I'd love to hit like $10,000 on Etsy in 2022. I don't know if that's realistic. It's hard to tell because I made $1,000 in December. So if that pattern continues, I would easily hit that. I would hit more than that. But if my hunch is right, like December, January is busier on Etsy, and then like maybe spring and summer is not so much, and then maybe in the fall and winter it picks up again. I mean, I just don't know. So year 2 will be interesting. We'll see how much the star seller status is helping me. We'll see how often I'm posting impacts that, and how much my YouTube audience grows. If I have some viral videos on YouTube and my audience grows a lot, then that could impact my sales too. So it's all really exciting. I've had a lot of fun with it. I love doing it, and I find it very rewarding. So I'm really glad that I got onto Etsy. It's going really well. I'm very happy with how it's going. It's been minimal headaches, knock on wood. I don't want to jinx myself, but minimal headaches, and mostly just work up front and then passive income. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys found this interesting. If you liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. It really helps on my channel. And if you want to see more videos from me talking all about personal finance, including my family's own journey to pay off 6-figure student loan debt, then hit that red subscribe button down there. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.